Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shmayo. We're MeWe, metaphysical and wellness events for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We host fairs and other events throughout the Northwest and online. We interview our practitioners and our vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here today interviewing Shelly J Miller. Shelly, it's lovely to be with you.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. So glad you reached out.
No, you're welcome. So please tell us a bit about you and what you offer and what people can discover when they come to the events.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I am a psychic and a medium. I also read the Akashic Records, which is past life information, and I do a lot of coaching with A Course in Miracles, which is a non-dual way to look at the world. It's the teachings of Jesus. But I would say people primarily come to me as a psychic and a medium for those kinds of readings. I have had my gifts since I was a child. I could see I was psychic and I could see my guides in the room and telepath with them. So I've had those gifts, and then I've refined them to a mastery level over all these years. They told me at 5 that I looked down and I saw myself in baby sleepers, and I realized when I was about 2.5 that I'd reincarnated. I was very angry. So I have spent my life on a spiritual journey figuring out, how do you get back into heaven? You know, how do you heal your mind, as I find out through the Course in Miracles. But in the meantime, through my journey, when I was about 19, I realized that I was being guided again. They told me they were going to step back, the guides did. And when I was about 19, I realized I was being guided. And then by the time I was in my 30s, about 1991, I started being what the spirit world called me was the wide receiver, which was a personal joke because I hate football, and they showed me with a football helmet on my head with a satellite dish on the top of that. And what that meant was I've always been able to read energy. Even since I was a child, I could tell you what was going to happen and what everybody's intention was, who's cheating, who's lying, who's telling the truth, who you can trust, that kind of thing. So that when I became the wide receiver, and I would receive information from the galactic realm, the Galactic Brotherhood of Light, the angelic realm, the ascended masters, the Devic Kingdom. I was a full body channel for a light being by the name of Ea for a while, and also for the Devic Kingdom. And I received a ton of information nonstop. I would sometimes download for 6 or 7 hours straight about what was going on for humanity and how to raise the frequency and that kind of thing. During that time, I also learned very much how to sort patterns of fear and show you where those patterns of fear are that are limiting you, where they came from, what thought forms and belief systems you're holding, if that came from another life, whatever. And the thought forms and belief systems that those you are involved with are holding. And the beauty of that is that when you can come to an understanding of why people are acting the way they do and why you are and why you're maybe drawing certain circumstances and people to your lives. When you change your mind, when you change your thought forms from fear to love, you change your life. And I find that even in my mediumship readings, I had a gal call me the other day, and she was calling for a psychic reading about her business and relocating. And her father, who had passed away 40 years before, whom she had not had much of a relationship, popped through and really commandeered the reading. And he was able to tell her that her sister, who was dying in the hospital, and she confirmed, yes, she is. And he said, you need to heal this. She said she'd been estranged for a couple of years. Through him and the information that he gave me that I was able to pass on, she was able to understand why her sister had become so ill and why they were both harboring resentment. And because he knew her so well, he was able to tell her, this is what she's thinking, and she could come to compassion in that. Then he showed me a beautiful bouquet of roses that was a very particular color of pink, and she said, that's my sister's favorite color. And he said, you need to go to the hospital and tell her what I told you, and you'll heal it. And on the way out of the hospital, she emailed me, and she said, everything that he told me to say, we've healed it. So they saved their relationship. And I find that psychic or mediumship, I'm known for very, very deeply accurate readings, and I'm known for my detail. I give a lot of detail. And because I have that higher spiritual view of non-duality, I'm able to get a lot of healing going through. Even when you don't expect that, you will get insights that will give you a higher view, so you'll come to more and more peace. A lot of people say about me that I bring them peace. And that's a wonderful thing, because that's what we're all really going for when you're coming for a reading and you think you want certain things in the outer world, and you come to ask if those are going to come to you or how to get them to come to you. What you really want is peace. That's what I find, Lorelei.
So when did you start doing this professionally? What was your journey to that?
Well, about 30 years ago, like I said, when I started becoming the wide receiver and receiving, I could tell if it was the Arcturians talking to me or someone from the angelic realm or Mother Mary. I channeled song. I was a professional singer for a while, quite a while. And that was a gift that God told me about when I was 4. And so I did sound frequency healing and things like that. I started reading probably in 1992. And then coaching, because of the ability to change fear to love. And so I've been reading and coaching professionally for 30 years, although I've had these gifts forever. But that was when Spirit said, okay, now you're gonna go public.
So with all the different things that you do, right, and I can just feel how powerful you are, do people come with particular types of questions? They come with a full range of things? Like, what is it like working with you? How do people enter?
Right. Full range. And what is interesting is that I always, I read from the superconscious mind. I always read from Holy Spirit. I have found, and this is not to cast aspersions anywhere, but there are a lot of people that read from the mental realm. And so you're getting a filter. And I think for so many years being the wide receiver that I learned how to simply quiet my mind and open it and not use my mind at all to receive the information. It's a pure channel. So I read psychically and mediumship the same way. I just let it come through. I do not ever reach out with my mind. So I think that's why the accuracy rate, but they come with everything from personal issues of every kind, relationships, business, career, life path, relocating a lot lately. A lot of people, I would say 80% of my clientele in the last probably 5 years has been told to relocate, particularly out of California. And I do a weekly radio show, and I give content about what's going on right now, because Spirit shows me. I don't listen to the news, never have. And Spirit shows me everything that's going on, all the, really horrible things with the virus and the things we're not being told. Yeah. And then I give that content on the radio. And then I do give links of people who are vetted that are telling the truth. So if anybody wants to join my newsletter, they'll get my radio shows, or go to my website. All my radio shows are listed with the topic and the link. If you want to get caught up to speed on what's really happening, I do a lot of psychic predictions, and they're accurate because they come right from Spirit. So The difference is that I read from Holy Spirit. And so when people come and they have an array of questions like you ask, what do they ask about? Spirit knows what they need. And so I always open up and I say, let's let Spirit tell us first where we're going. But I always get everybody's questions answered. So you bring a list, because we will attend to that. And Spirit has an amazing ability. It blows my mind every time. I've been doing this for so long. Spirit is so amazing. They know what you need, and they know just how long we have to do it. They get it in there every time. It's just incredible to me, working with Holy Spirit and the guides. And you know what I mean? I'm always in awe. I'm like a child who comes in, wow. I'm in honor. It's amazing. I love doing this because it helps people.
It's great. It's great. Well, if people want to connect with you online, where do they go, and how do they connect with your radio show and all those things?
Thank you. You can reach me at shellyjmiller.com, and make sure you put the J in there, because if you don't, you will not get me. You'll get someone else. Shelly is SHELLY, J Miller.com. Go to the contact page if you want to sign up for a reading or coaching session. You'll see there that I can do it. We're not doing so much in person anymore, although if you're in my area, we can. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, you can sign up on the first page, or I think it'll take you to the contact page. Make sure you spell everything right, because I really want to get in touch with you, and most people leave something out and then we can't. If you go to the events page, you'll see all my radio shows listed, and you can look at the topics and access any of those. And there's an email, Shelly, SHELLY, at shellyjmiller.com. if you feel to reach out, if you're one of those that's also like me, looking to live in community with like-minded others, I think it's going to be really necessary to live in community to support each other during these times. And Spirit directed me to you, Lorelei, because they told me many times that I was going to live in Washington State. And then out of the blue, this opportunity came to meet with you. And when I contacted you, you said, yeah, you knew a lot of people. So Spirit told me this was probably about connecting with people as much as it is for reading with people. So ShellyJMiller.com. And there's a phone number on there too. Make sure you spell everything right. I'd love to hear from you.
That's great.
So,
yeah, I'm excited to share more about Washington. That happens to be where I am. So yeah, we're connecting the community all over. Great resources for each other and reaching out to more and more community.
Yes.
All right,
I think
great.
it's really going to be important.
It's been lovely chatting with you, Shelly. I'm looking forward to people connecting with you at our events. And
thank you.
For those of you listening and watching, you can learn more about us and all of our events at MeWeFairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks so much. Thanks, Shelly.
Thank you, Lorelei.